continue with questions for Coach. We'll start down here in the front with John.
John Adams, Knoxville News Sentinel. Holly, what's the status of Jordan Reynolds? She's not up there today, so do you think she can play?
You know, John, they're evaluating her. I think it's kind of a day-to-day decision. She got hit pretty hard in the face, so I think they're evaluating her. So I don't know if I don't know what the determination will be. Well, you know, Taya started off and on throughout the year, so I think she's got some very good experience there. Andrea started at the point, so she obviously has good experience there. So I think it'll hurt. Jordan's the point guard that pushes the ball for us. The other, Drea's a little bit more steady. Taya's, she pushes it and is quicker than both of those. So it'll probably bring a different style. But I think Jordan only played 6 minutes last night, and the other two stepped up. And so, you know, that's a good thing that we have had to go through and start 3 different point guards. So now somebody doesn't have to come in and isn't ready. So that's a positive thing throughout the year.
Question over here on the right.
Courtney Loud, WBIR. Holly, how different is your team now compared to the first time you faced Syracuse?
Well, as Bashar said, we weren't very effective in the zone. They turned us over quite a bit. We weren't playing well as a team. We didn't have a consistent leader. I mean, I could just go on, and so this year has been a kind of a learning lesson for us in growing up. And we were not even close to being grown up the second game of the year. And we brought Syracuse in because of their ability to play a 2-3 matchup. They do it extremely well. So we thought that we may see it down the road, and so we are. But just trying to prepare for all aspects of the game, and they do something unique that we don't see on a regular basis. So hopefully we learn from that. We learned from that game that we've got to get better in our zone offense and take care of the basketball.
We got a question in the back here first, and then we'll come down front.
Mario Sacco, WSYR Syracuse. Coach, what can you gauge that makes this Syracuse basketball team so successful?
Well, I think obviously their ability to defend, but I think they've got players that can play off the bounce. They've got players that can shoot the 3. They've got a strong rebounder in Day. So I just think they do a lot of things very well. They attack. They're very well coached. So, you know, they beat a really, really solid, good basketball team last night in South Carolina. And so if somebody doesn't take them seriously, there's something wrong with them, and we take them very seriously. So I just think they can do a lot of things very well. And when they're clicking on all cylinders at the same time, I think they're a very dangerous basketball team.
Question down here on the right side, and then we'll come over to John. Right here, second row.
Hi, Lindsey Kramer from the Syracuse Post-Standard newspaper. You mentioned bringing Syracuse in for their game earlier this season. Apart from that, do you have any ties to Coach Hillsman? Have you worked with him or any camps with him? Any general impressions about him and the job he's done at Syracuse?
Well, I've just known Q for a while, just being in the profession. I think I probably have been in longer than he has, but he does things right. And I think he's a great teacher. I know Vaughn really well, his assistant. He's an outstanding teacher. And I think they recruit to their system, and they do it really, really well. So those are the kids. Those are the two that I'm very familiar with. But he's always been right there. I mean, last year he was. I think they played at our place as well. So, I just think he's been very solid and consistent.
Down in front.
John Adams, Knoxville News Sentinel. Holly, it's so long ago that you played Syracuse there in Knoxville. Does it help to go back and look at that video, or is it just not the teams?
No, we've looked. No, we've looked at it. It is, John. I guess it's kind of encouraging because it shows us how far we've come from that game to now, and they've gotten better too. So I think you there's no question. You at this point we watch a lot of tape, and you learn so much from video and how they played you and how they played other people, and so. Absolutely. We went back and marked it and watched it, and we'll show some of our kids the tape as well.
We got a question on the right over here, fourth row.
What is it about Alexis Peterson that stands out most, and why has she been so effective recently?
I think she's an aggressive, she's extremely aggressive. And when someone can shoot the three and they can penetrate and they're quick with the basketball, they're difficult to guard. And I think she's all of that. I think she's extremely quick. She's smart. She can shoot the three, and she penetrates. And for us, you would like kids to be one-dimensional. She is not one-dimensional. She is a scorer, a slasher, a get to the basket, and those type of kids they're very difficult to defend. And I thought she had an outstanding game yesterday. I really did. She was solid, and she took that team on her back.
We got a question in the far back left here.
Eric Olson with the Associated Press. Holly, just as an observer of the game, how improbable do you think this matchup is? And then with what happened in Lexington last night, do you think that this season is maybe a bit of a turning point for the game?
For the women's basketball in general, I do. I've looked at it. Of course, you have Connecticut, and they have 3 kids that are solid, have been starting since freshmen. They play so well together. But I do see the talent is outstanding. I think coaching is getting better. We're getting the opportunity to pick from a lot of kids. It's no longer there's a group of 5 kids over here. You can take a kid that nobody knows about, and that kid can be outstanding. So you hope you can recruit in your system. But, I mean, we've been there, and when we first started out at Tennessee, we got a core of kids that played really, really hard together, and then that attracted the best players in the country. Now there's a ton of best players in the country, and I think it's exciting for women's basketball. I really do. I don't want to be the one on the end that gets upset, and we've done that. We've been upset. We've been in South Carolina's position, and then we've been in the opposite position, obviously. But I think every team that we play, there's a kid that's just an unbelievable, outstanding kid, and then you throw in a couple other people that do the work and do some dirty work. But yeah, I mean, to think that Washington could beat Maryland on their home court as good as Maryland is tough. That's a tough game. And then go into, I think, probably a ton of people in Kentucky and do what they did. And then for Stanford to do what they did against Notre Dame, it's for that aspect, it's exciting for women's basketball. But I know those teams who've lost are hurting and not feeling very well right now because they had great seasons. South Carolina had a great season, and it's basketball's a tournament sport, and that's what we've been teaching. It's a tournament sport. We're in the Elite Eight, and we have 13 losses. So we split our season up in 3 seasons. It's the regular season, the SEC, and now the NCAA tournament, and that's what we preach. And so whether you win all your games or lose if you get in the tournament, it's a clean slate, and it's tournament time, and anything can happen.
We're going to take a question in the third row, then we'll come back down, John.
Mick Gary, Sioux Falls Argus leader. Holly, just based on geography, this could not have been your first pick for the regional you wanted to go to. What has the experience here been like for you and your team?
Well, the people here have been outstanding. I can't say enough about that. And the arena is is fabulous. It is it's team friendly. I think it's fan friendly. And surprising enough, I did want to come to this region. I did. Look, when we got here, it was the snow was coming in sideways, and we landed safely. And the people greeted us at the hotel were unbelievable. And we play indoors, so we don't really worry about the weather too much. I was worried about the weather in Phoenix because it was 92 degrees and our kids were wanting to go out by the pool. But it has been a great experience for our young ladies, and we're very appreciative of the hospitality here. So, and the opportunity to play. But everybody's been super. I would suggest them to come back and put a regional here. I just think it's the crowd last night was really solid for 4 teams who weren't close to this area, and the people came out and supported it. And that's a tribute to the love for, I think, women's basketball in this area, because I know South Dakota State's close by in South Dakota, and they have a couple of Division II teams here as well.
We got time for a couple more questions. We'll start right down here in front.
John Adams, Knoxville News Sentinel. Holly, the upsets this weekend certainly suggest more parity, but then you have a game like Connecticut and Mississippi State. Mississippi State, a good SEC team,
Right.
beat you guys, and
Sure.
and does that shock you that UConn could beat them 60 points?
I don't. Yes and no. I think Mississippi State's a solid basketball team. They've not been in that situation. I don't know how they handled it. I don't know. I didn't get to watch the game. But I thought Mississippi State had a great year. And, you know, UConn has been close with teams, and they've blown teams out, and Mississippi State didn't fare too well. But, you know, UConn right now is a cut above everybody. But, you know, I think when they've played DePaul, they've struggled, UConn. So I think it depends on matchups. Nobody thought that Baylor would have gotten beaten the year that Brittany Griner was a senior, and Louisville went in and did just that. So is it an uphill battle? Yes. But can it be done? Yes. But I just think that Connecticut is they're just clicking on all cylinders. And, you know, am I surprised? No. But then again, I am surprised because I've seen Mississippi State play. So.
One last question out there. Anything else for Coach?
Wow.
Okay, Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
And good luck tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.